got some problems that you wanna solve? Then let's chat. That job getting on your nerves? Then let's chat. Girl, you know I can relate, so let's chat. Cause I'ma tell you what the bottom line is.
I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. What the bottom line is. What the bottom line is.
I'ma tell you what the bottom line is. Hey everyone, it's your girl Cece, and we are back for another episode of The Bottom Line Is. And you know what I always say, I have another amazing guest here with us today. My guest is Daisy, and if you don't know, Daisy wears a lot of hats. But first and foremost, outside of being a mom, okay, because nobody can take that credit away, of course, but we also were in the Miss Maryland Corporate America pageant together. We were the late bloomers to the sisterhood. But we came in and we showed out. And so that's where our bond began. And Daisy is always supporting everyone. So I'm so excited that she traveled far to be here with us today. So you know it's going to be a special episode. So today's episode is called Learning to See Yourself Again. So I'm going to let Daisy do her introduction, but just that title alone, Learning to See Yourself Again, as women or just anyone really, we go through so many changes, so many pivotal changes and stages of life. And sometimes those stages can be low and we have to basically refine ourselves again, find out what we want, who we are, and what we do. And this can relate to, again, anyone, women, men, caregivers, all of us, because sometimes we do in our journey of life need that reconfirmation and need to just, go back to the drawing board sometimes. So I'm not going to get too much into the topic, but I want to first start off and let Daisy introduce herself and all of the many hats that she wears. So Daisy.
What an introduction. Wow. First of all, I want to say thank you so much, Sierra, for having me here. It is an honor to be here with our Miss Maryland corporate.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. I am so grateful that we got to connect to the program. This by itself was a way of relearning things about ourselves as well.
Definitely.
But yeah, so I am Daisy Teixeira. I am a photographer. I am a mom of 3. A photographer, and more specifically, I work with women. And in the process of working with women, I have learned so much. And I believe I'm not an expert. I'm not a therapist, but I kind of almost believe that people that come to have an experience with us, I almost feel like it's a therapy on its own, because it is a very empowering experience. So for those who don't know, I shoot boudoir. Boudoir is a style of photography. I think the easiest way to describe is like, have you seen a Victoria's Secret catalog before, right? So we have all those beautiful women, like beautiful locations and all of that. So this is what we do, but for the everyday woman. And sometimes everyday women, they think that they don't have what it takes. They're moms, they're workers, they're doing everything in life. They are wearing many different hats, just as we do. And then we kind of forget to touch base with our own selves. Okay. So as we take care of others, it's also important that we do take care of ourselves. And that's what we do with boudoir. It's way more than just a photography session. Of course, your pictures, you turn out stunning in a way that you have never seen yourself. It's definitely not your regular portrait.
Yeah, she does some amazing work, y'all.
Thank you, Sierra. But it's more than pictures. And that's what I like to say to people. It is a whole experience. It helps you to see yourself in a different light. It reminds you of the power that you have as a woman. It reminds you that you can do anything in life that you want to do. I mean, it is a step out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And that is a phrase that I like to say. This is kind of my motto. I like to say that when you are like being in a comfort zone is a good thing. It's warm, it's cozy and everything, but it's never something that you want to stay there for too long. You have to keep getting out of there, stepping your foot outside of the zone, because that's how you grow. If you just stay there, you're not going to have to experience the outside beauty. Of course, life has its challenges. Everybody has, but it's important for us to keep stepping out of the comfort zone in order to grow, to follow a journey that is richer in experiences, in things that you wouldn't have done in your life if you had stayed in that comfort zone. So when you're too long into set into this period of your life, like look for experiences that bring joy, that bring amazing learning curves to your life. And that's what we do at the studio. Like it feels like it's just like going there for a day of photography. It's not. It's more than that. I see everyday women coming in. They're shy. It's normal, especially like for that kind of photography. But I used to say that what we do, it's an intimate experience, yes, and it's not because, I promise you, it's not because of the kinds of clothes you wear. Of course, you can wear lingerie, you can have a dress if you want. I don't,
whatever makes you feel beautiful
exactly
in that moment is what is expected.
Exactly.
And I like that you touched on, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I like that you touched on like stepping out of your comfort zone, because that was last week's episode. Stepping out and venturing into doing something that is uncomfortable, because that way you can basically open yourself up to other opportunities as well. So many of us become hermit, and I think that we all got very well at that due to COVID, right? Because we had no choice but to be in our little shells. Now it's like, the insert "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So you definitely have to learn yourself. But that's one thing. I mean, I've done a lot of photography. Well, being a model. Okay. Not photography. So let me correct that. But that's one thing that I haven't done, but I can echo that. Like when I go into a photo shoot, just being able to be someone else, when I put that makeup on and just, I feel beautiful. Like, and that's what I love about what you do, because like you said, it's turning the everyday woman who did not think that she could look that beautiful. Not saying that you had to have makeup to make you beautiful, but just to, make you like, just feel like a different person once you do that. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but I know that's how I feel. That's why I don't wear makeup all the time. I just like only when I have something to do, and it's like, they're like, "Oh, wow, I didn't know you could bring it like that." Yes, honey, don't sleep on it. Just because I be looking like regular schmegular. Okay.
Absolutely. Everybody that walks through my door, they are not my clients.
Right.
They are my bombshells. Everybody. Bombshells. So this is the interesting part. We play many roles in life.
Yeah.
We play the mom role. We play the, like you have the professional role. You have, the caregiver role. Many roles, but you forget the bombshell role.
Yeah.
That's an important one. That's what brings life. Life is to be lived.
Clock that.
Exactly. So it's that
you got
one
it, girl.
moment. Absolutely.
So, well, let's get into it, because we already, got into some things. So why do you think that so many women see themselves, struggle to see themselves positively? And I'm sure you heard some stories. So,
oh yes, if there is one thing I can share, and that's why I have created a podcast myself, is stories that I have the opportunity to hear every single day in my studio. And there's many different reasons. Everybody has a journey. Sometimes it's a childhood that has, like somebody had problems with their parents. Maybe they're too restrict, maybe this or that. Sometimes they just didn't hear the words of affirmation. I love you. You are beautiful. You're powerful. And that's a very important thing. If you have children, please make sure to reinforce that with them.
It starts at home.
Yes, it starts at home. Exactly. And then it follows through your partner. You're like, whoever you choose as a partner, in your adulthood, sometimes that person also, forgets that it's important to hear. I myself, in my personal story, of course, my parents, I absolutely know my parents love me.
Right.
But one of the things I wish that I could have heard as a child was just I love you.
Yeah.
It's so simple, but it's so powerful. And it's important that the words that come out of our mouth, they do make a difference on somebody else's life and somebody else's self-esteem. So that was something I'm like, I got intrigued as a child, like, and now as a mother, I tell this to my kids all the time, including to my mom, who is also learning,
Yeah.
to share those.
It's
So
important.
yes, and it's very, very important. So it comes from different ways, and there's also a pressure of society. Society is always telling us how to look, how to behave, how to portray ourselves, and then you suddenly forget who you really are inside, and you just try to copy whatever other people are telling you. So it's hard to have that conversation with yourself, and this is why it's important for us to take that moment, no matter how busy you are. Take that moment and do something that is meaningful to you. It's not to your children, it's not to your spouse, it's to you. This is incredibly important. So doing a photo shoot, for example, when people come to the studio, this is a day about them, but it can be also reading a book. It can be taking a bath. It can be going on a trip, doing meaningful stuff to you. And then I believe that once people start taking that time, they start reflecting more what is important in their lives.
Right.
But we need that moment with ourselves too.
Yeah, no, I think that hearing those words of affirmations, because I think so many of us from back in the day, you hear, the negative. People are so quick to tell you the negative instead of, celebrating or saying the positive things that go on, and saying those 3 words, I love you, or you are beautiful. I don't think that's going to hurt anybody, right?
Nope.
It just makes you feel good. And I think, like you also said, when you get into a relationship, I think that's where so many people struggle when they get in a relationship, because they want love so bad that they're willing to accept whatever someone says to or about them. And, unfortunately, sometimes when they realize, like, oh, this is not for me, it can be too late, and now you really, are low in self-esteem, and you have to bring yourself up. And I think that also I wanted to touch on social media. Also, I think causes people to struggle. I mean, this is a topic that has been talked about so many ways for so many years, but I think we're starting to see, when more women on social media, or more people on social media, that have come from all walks and facets of life, which is good, because before it's like, to be a model, you were told like you had to be skinny and this and that, but you can be that everyday woman. You don't have to worry about like what your body shape looks like to come do a photo shoot. You are the model woman. You are the woman that there are 50 other million more of people in the world that look like you. So it is okay. You don't have to fit into anybody's box. And I think that's where the misconception is. So.
Yes. Oh my goodness. 100%. You reflected that so well, Sierra, because people think, I hear this all the time. Oh, I need to go to the gym. I need to, no, you have to leave. You need to leave. Today is the day that you go and do something that you like. Don't wait for tomorrow for you to wear the clothes that you want, because you're going to wait for whatever. Today, why are you postponing a feeling that you could have today? And then the more you get to used to this, you understand how much self-love we also need. We give love to others, but we also need the self-love.
Yeah, I think that's where we struggle as people. We struggle to receive. We have no problems with giving, most people, but we struggle with the receiving part. But I bet it's like if you did, which you probably do, like a before and after, like when they come in and like, oh, I don't know how this is going to look and this and that. And then after, they probably like, they don't even want to stop taking pictures, I'm sure. So like,
this happens all the time. Yeah. And I think this is one of the things I'm most passionate about, is to see that difference.
Yeah.
Of course, I love to take the pictures. I love the whole process, but to see the transformation of that woman, It's incredible. And trust me, I have had women from all walks of life, from younger to 76-year-olds. In fact,
Wow.
that was the most the oldest lady I have taken pictures of. And I'm not kidding you, she drove from Tennessee to
Wow.
be in my studio. And then this by itself tells me that our message is so powerful and people need to hear this kind of stuff. But yeah, so all walks of life, people have different stories. I photograph mothers and grandmothers and people that are going through maybe a healing journey. Maybe sometimes they have cancer, or they have been through a separation or divorce, or maybe they're just celebrating a birthday. But there's many different reasons. But the most important thing is to see how that woman walks inside
Yeah.
of that experience, that day that they sit down to get their makeup and hair done. We are just chit-chatting, and then after these, we start the photo shoot. So that little shy woman walks out of that studio with such a glow, with such
Awesome.
a confidence. It makes
Right.
me so proud.
No, it should. That's awesome. So, and we already kind of hit on the next question I had was how confidence changes after trauma, motherhood, heartbreak, and all of the different life transitions. So it's like you come in with all of that baggage, that load on, but you walk out empowered. Like, I am that bombshell. I am great. I am all of these things. Anything to add in regards to that?
Oh, yes. So this is the thing. We don't just miss your story. Your story is your story. You should be proud of it, no matter what you have been through. Some people have been through very harsh situations.
Yeah.
Some people, not as much, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that this is your story, including your body's physical aspects. Every woman, I promise you, every woman has stretch marks. Every woman has cellulites. Every woman has some little parts that we don't like. But the goal is not for us to be picking apart.
We are our worst enemies.
Absolutely. No. So if you come to the studio just to be like, I'm going to be picking myself, I stop people right there. I literally am very vocal. I'm like, no, let's sit down here, sweetheart. Let's sit down here. Let's talk a little bit. So I bring that message during the photo shoot, including when they see their pictures. I reinforce that, like, we are not here to pick up on ourselves. In fact, they see their pictures on the same day, by the way. So, which reinforces even more. So yes, every woman has, let's call it imperfections, but that's the human body. Human body has all of that.
Perfect.
No, absolutely. So you're not going to erase that. This is part of who you are. The whole goal is for you to realize that you are who you are, and that's why you should love yourself, because nobody else is going to be like you. And we have to keep on that journey. It is a journey. I understand. Even I, like, I am very positive. My mindset is very positive already, but I do have some days that I'm down, or maybe I'm not feeling
that's
that.
natural,
Everybody
right?
does.
Yeah, you have to allow yourself that grace, like you said, to feel those emotions.
Absolutely. But that's not what's going to bring you down. You still are, like, even on the harsh days, you're still going to remember that you love yourself. Okay. And then work through the feeling and move on to the next day. And then,
one of my other episodes, it was titled like loving yourself before the relationship comes, because if you don't have good internal self-love, then again, how can you expect other people to love you? How can you expect to love fully? We need those things, and those things are not taught, unfortunately, every day. Most people, don't hear about it until they like maybe are a part of therapy, or they're going through, like while we went through the pageant and we talked a lot about those things and affirmations. But, that's something that we really need to speak well in the community. And I know there are a lot of youth programs, so we can start them young at that, because that's like when the bullying starts too, when you start feeling that, that low self-esteem is when you're younger. And that's why, like you said earlier, it's good to tell your kids, like, you are loved, you are this, you are that. And because, so if somebody else, unfortunately, is nasty to them at school or what have you, they could just easily brush that off. Like, that's fine. You can think whatever you want, but I know who I am, and I'm going to be that girl or that boy or whatever. So
100%. We have to, it starts as young, but sometimes people don't have that as a young age, but you still can pick up on that.
Yeah.
You know, that this is not something that has an expiration date or a starting date. It's something that as you learn to recognize yourself as a person, first of all, you have to look for people that are positive in your life.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing. So if you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, when I say wrong crowd, it's like people that are picking yourself apart, telling you that, you know, you're not good at this or good at that. It's different than when somebody is telling you, is giving you a suggestion on how to grow. Oh, maybe you should go and do the class that will help you in your future career.
Yeah.
It's different. We know when somebody is putting us down. So you want to avoid these kind of relationships. That's the first thing, because we are the product of our environment. So if you are all the time hanging out with, you know, people that do bad stuff, pretty soon you're going to think that's a normal thing to do. And then you might, I'm not saying you're going to do that, but you might start doing this kind of stuff. So the same thing with, you know, like, with regular life. So try to hang out with a group of friends, a group of people that are positively influencing in your life. And you know, the littlest compliment, you can do that as well. Like, I never thought about this, but like, oh, you have such a beautiful hair today, or anything. Like, you look for a positive thing to say about somebody and be genuine about it, because pretty soon you are going to be the light on somebody else's life as well. And then you also be an example to how they should treat you as well. Okay. Sometimes we're not able to not be hanging around those people, but at least you can be an influence, a positive influence on them.
Yeah, no. And, you know, like you said, having that good support system, and don't allow yourself to be in a place too long with people that are not for you. Okay. Don't do that, because all you're doing is wasting time, wasting life, and tomorrow is not guaranteed. So start today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you think that many women are performing confidence instead of actually feeling it?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
There's no other way to say it.
All the time. I want to say, like, especially social media, and I think that's the main one. Not even magazine, but like a social media where, you know, that influencer that you go and follow all the time, they're just showing, I don't know, they show behind the scenes of their lives and everything is perfect. Trust me, nobody's life is perfect.
No.
And that's okay. I mean, you don't have to be showing up with negativity on social media. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, learn to filter and understand. Everybody has problems. Everybody has challenges. So be careful with what you filter to your life. Just understand that people always display the highlights, the best things. And that's not real life. Real life, of course, we have positive moments in our lives, but we also have negative. So make sure you separate that. And then that's when it comes, like, the like, oh, is this person faking or is this real? Like, is her life always like that?
And then people think that that's how their life should be, or they get depressed or sad because their life is not like that.
But use this as an inspiration. You know, like, you don't want to be throwing out negativity all the time on social media. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying, like, understand that there's also the other side. Every story has another side.
No, I totally agree. So how do women begin rebuilding confidence after painful experiences or major transitions?
There's so many ways of doing this. Sometimes,
and we already kind of touched on a few, so I want you to hone in, because I want the people in the back to hear it.
No, absolutely. There's many different ways. First of all, it's acknowledging that you need some support, of some kind. We are social. Human beings are social. We by default, we need somebody. We need our mothers. We need, our community. We need like anybody that is important in your life.
Yeah.
So don't be alone. Look for somebody that you can share the load with. The second thing I would say, look for professional help, a therapist. It's a good start. I believe therapy nowadays, especially nowadays, it's not a taboo anymore. It's something that
Right.
we do in order to grow, to embrace the journey. Sometimes we just need to talk to somebody. And then if you don't have somebody in your community to talk to, or you don't feel comfortable, go to a professional.
Right.
And then after you talk, take action. You need to take action. And when I say take action, it means go do things for yourself. And again, it comes back to the self-care. So exercising, going on a trip, reading a book, coming to do a photo shoot with me. I see stories of many different women, many different situations all the time. So it is important for people to understand that self-care is as important as you taking care of somebody that you love, because the first person you should love is yourself. And you absolutely cannot pour from an empty cup. And if you have been through something very traumatic, it can be, sometimes it can be a illness, it can be transition to motherhood, it can be like anything, name it. Okay. But it's important that you take care of yourself as you would take care of somebody that you love. So think of that. And then you're like, well, what can I suggest? Like, what do I like to do?
Yeah.
And then go do that thing. Okay. And then keep work on yourself. I personally, every morning, I practice gratitude. And this is something that I had to learn to do. And trust me, I have stories in my life that, people would be impressed. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But I like the idea is like we go through some hardships in life in order for us to learn a lesson. Sometimes it's something that you don't accept in your life anymore. Like say, anything. But the most important thing is to still show gratitude. Gratitude is, I think, is the base of everything, because it shows to yourself, it shows to the universe. I don't know how you like to call, maybe some people call God, but it shows it to you that you are grateful for the life that you have, and you are ready to move forward, to move out of that situation, and then learn to be the best version of yourself. So every morning, and when I wake up, I am already on the rush. I have 3 kids and everything, but I never, ever get out of my bed without saying a little appreciation. I say, thank you, God, for another day in my life. Please be with me, be with us, and protect us through the way. And, just say,
that's important.
Yeah, very simple. It doesn't have to be like a whole meditation, I do practice meditation too, but that's like in another, like once a week with a group of friends.
Yeah.
But every single day, try to implement one little thing that brings positivity to your life and to your mindset. That helps a lot.
Yeah, no, and I love that. And, I never realized the value of that until I started caregiving. And I would, hear my grandmother would say that all the time. Like, as soon as we make it to the top of the steps, when I'm rolling her in the house, she said, thank you, God. I'm like, okay. Every little thing. But in fact, it is gratitude because you didn't have to make it as far as you did. And, gratitude for, even during the struggles, the hard times, because at the end of the day, you're going to come out of it. And there is a lesson, that comes out of it. So you just have to, figure out what that lesson is. And I think one of my other guests, we said too, that if you don't figure out the lesson, he's going to keep putting you through it until you get it.
Yes.
So keep your eyes and your ears open to what you're trying to be taught, and be grateful for those lessons, because that's what helps to shape you to the person that you are, who you are, and who you are becoming.
100%. And that's why I say we don't erase our story. Our story is our story. Our journeys is part of what helped us to be where we are today. Right. And trust me, I wouldn't want to be back on my 20s.
Oh, I would love to redo my 20s.
I mean,
I don't know.
Of course, we could have done things differently, but we wouldn't know if we haven't gone through what we would gone through.
That's true, but you know, a couple of things there, you know. So like I'm gonna be 40 in December, so I've already told myself it's my 20s over again. 20 times 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the vibe there. Okay.
No, absolutely. My mindset as a 20-year-old, I was a positive, but I feel like I could have used the knowledge that I have today. If I had the knowledge today, and then I could put that back in my 20-year-old body, sure, that's how I ask for. Yeah. But since it's the opposite, then I will stay here.
I just would have rearranged some people during our 20s. That's all. If I could take away the people, yeah, I think, yeah, as far as everything else outside of the people, meaning the relationships. Oh yeah. I'm good. I wouldn't have to relive them. But to get rid of the people, yeah, let's redo that. Let's rewind it back. Okay?
Yes. That would be a nice power to have.
Sometimes, like, I don't know if you ever watched the show Family Matters, and like Steve Urkel, he, and I know it was fictional, but he had this machine where he like eventually cloned himself into a more suave version of himself. And I was like, God, I used to say as a child, why can't he make that a time machine? Like, knowing it's a fictional character, but in my head, I was just like, why can't he do this? So I would be right there. I don't know. I would figure out a way to pay for it. Okay. I would, like, just to go
Whoever
back.
Invented that would be such like a trillionaire. Like
even
really.
if it's just one time. Just let me go back one time. I will be good to go. Just one time. One time. I think we all should have one redo in life. But
yes. No, I understand. I understand. But we move from here and forward.
Yes, I'm trying to be very intentional. So yeah, I'm going to go into that new decade with a different mindset.
Go girl.
You know, like I said, this season, and as you were talking, I was just thinking and reflecting on this season and the episodes that I have recorded thus far. And, you know, I go into a season with an idea that I want to do. Like this time around, I wanted to do monthly topics and then have subtopics under it. And that didn't work out just because of everybody's schedules to record. But all of the topics like kind of just flowed into who are you becoming, who you are versus who you are becoming, and being open and receptive to that. And I in my mind, as before you even said the word gratitude, I had gratitude for the moment of for God putting the right people for this season in my direction, you know, and I love that. And you know, I think that, you know, again, I didn't see that coming into this season, right? I was just like, all right, you know, this is what I want to do and this is how I'm going to do it. But the direction changed because that was what was intended to happen. So I hope that somebody's watching is able to receive from all of those episodes and able to learn and grow and understand like how important you are, how beautiful you are, and never lose yourself. Don't lose your identity. Don't lose who you are becoming. Appreciate who you are becoming, because it took a lot of hard work to get there. So never discredit yourself or disqualify the space that you are in.
100%. And if you allow me to share this, there are 3 ways that we learn.
Okay.
I think we are here. All of us are here in a life journey. And one of the reasons I like to say before we go back home, like we're not here anymore. We're not going to last forever, not in this body at least. But when we go back home, we want to go better than when we came, right? So we are here to learn. No matter if they're good lessons, bad lessons, doesn't matter. But there's 3 ways. The first one is going through pain. Nobody likes to go through pain, but sometimes that's what it takes, you know, unfortunately. Yes. And that's what we talk, life transformations. And you learn so much. The second one is through love. You love somebody so much. You love your child. You love your spouse. You love your community. You love them so much that you want to do things from them. And that helps you to also learn lessons.
Right.
And the third one is by watching. Like, which is exactly what you just said here. By listening to all those stories that you are, you know, like putting into the podcast right now, you are also learning. You don't have to go through every single experience out there to be the best version of yourselves. Sometimes you just have to watch, like, what did this person went through? What do I take from her story?
Right.
And from there, those three pillars over there, they will help to shape who we are. And that's why we have to be very careful with who we hang with.
Yeah, no, we put that energy around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And even like the negative experiences, like I said, they will teach us things.
Yes.
But, you know, they teach us not to do and repeat somebody else's mistake. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes people just have to go with the flow of life. But there are ways of learning without having to hurt yourself in the process.
No, I love that. Yeah, I love that. And yeah, like you said, that's why I always open up with, I have an amazing guest, people, because I do have some amazing people. They teach me so much, and I hope that they are teaching you. And if they are, drop a heart in the comments for sure. We love to hear it. We love to hear all of the stories. So this is going to be my last question for you, Daisy. What does learning to see yourself again personally mean to you? Now, you said that what you personally do, but what does that mean to you?
To me, well, I think learning to see myself into a different version, you know, somebody that I wish I can be in the future, helps me to go through this journey. So yes, like when I was in my 20s, I wish to be where I am today. And like you said before, it is a hard work to get here.
Yes.
It's not like everybody wants your success. Everybody wants what you have. Oh, they feel inspired by it. You know, sometimes they feel jealous about it too. But when you ask them, would you do what I did to get here?
That part.
Yeah. So would you do that? If you know, everybody has their own journeys. And then in my personal journey, yes, should I wish I could have done a few different things, but I cannot go back in the past, have that, you know, machine we're talking about to go back and then change things. So what can I do? I just have to learn from whatever experiences I had, and then move forward to the future. And then in my next decade, I'll be looking back and saying, wow, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, like you did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did that. So I think everything's about learning. And the first thing is like, who is that person that you want to become? Have a vision. Like, what is that person? And once you have the vision, what are you going to take? What are you going to do? What are you going to accept to get there?
Right.
Because I'm not my 20-year-old version anymore.
Yeah. No,
I have developed tools that I'm able to walk a better journey without going through every single thing again. I can walk the journey a little bit more smoothly to get to my next decade with more wisdom, more experience, and looking back and saying, I'm proud. I'm very proud. And the whole goal again is to leave Earth, to leave this bodily experience, going back home all the way to, you know, to the spiritual world, I want to say, but in a better way than I came. And then if possible, influencing as many people as possible around me. I don't have to change the world. I know that's impossible, but at least I can inspire others to live a better life, including your children, including, you know, your community. And that's what I think life should be about.
No, thank you for that. So, you know, I would close, and we're going to, you know, share, how people can reach you. But I would say I would close with, the bottom line is that, you know, again, the topic being learn to see yourself again, include learning to love yourself again, learning to be alone with yourself, learning to find out who you are before you can give to other people, and embrace the person that you are becoming, because it's not the person who you were yesterday. So, you know, always look into the future and looking to become a better version of yourself for those around you. Be that example. So if you didn't get anything from today, get that. But today was a great episode. And Daisy, I really am so happy that you again took the journey to come here. And it's so nice because I know we have been wanting to connect to be, you know, for you to be on the podcast for a while. So I'm so glad that we got that worked out. So, I know how to reach you, but how can other people reach you if they want to find out more about what you do and the photography, your podcast, and all the amazing things that you're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, I am everywhere in social media. I have to. But I want to say, just find me through the boudoir day. Boudoir, I know it's a little bit of a tricky word. It's from the French, called like bedroom. It's literally bedroom, but it means like intimate.
And
But
we'll have that down below too, so you can make sure you follow her.
Absolutely. And I would love, if you are a woman and you want to be walking around other women that have similar mindset, that have done a photo shoot before, I would love to invite you to my community on Facebook. And I would love to, Sierra is going to be sharing that, but it is a community. When I say community, it's because we do things together. We just don't go do a photo shoot and that's it. Bye bye. No, we actually hang out. We go do things together. We watch a movie. We go do a little get together with women. So if
support group.
Absolutely. And we would love to have you. You are more than welcome. Or if you just want to be on my regular social media, we also on Instagram at the Boudoir Day, or our TikTok, and also our website, theboudoirday.com.
Awesome. So you heard it here. So you got to meet the woman behind the camera.
Love you, Sierra.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in for another episode of The Bottom Line Is. And if you haven't already, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share. And we'll see you